Will we learn this week how Michonne ended up face to face with Rick? Will the episode end there or set up the main storyline of a series? Will Jadis, who is listed in the main cast, show up this week? Hi there, it's Micha. Join me for this short review and you will find out. The episode, as was expected, caught us up on what Michonne did since we last saw her. It was 6 years after the incident at the bridge when she left Alexandria. And this is where we find her, right after she found Rick's boots, the painted cell phone, and his notes indicating New Jersey Bridger's shipyard as his last known location, which therefore became her next destination. There she runs into a community that travels as a caravan and saves 2 of their people. Impressed by Michonne, whose philosophy is to never leave anyone behind, while this group would not stop for anyone who falls behind, a small part of the nomads decides to follow her. Among those is the couple she rescued and Ned, a highly skilled inventor type whom Michonne immediately liked.
Stick with us for a night. Sleep in a bed. Do your suicide commission tomorrow. It's a chance to equip you, tell you how some of that equipment works. Well, maybe you'll survive 30 more seconds of your trip once you hit the Delaware border. One night.
On their way, they come across one of the CRM helicopters, which attacked them with chlorine gas. An assault that only she and Ned survive.
Thank you. I couldn't do it.
After literally waiting several seasons for their lungs to heal and physique to recuperate, when they continue their journey, they find the shipyard empty, with just a huge number of unidentifiable burnt corpses. This is when Michonne also gives up and decides to go home.
If he were alive, he would have found his way.
Even though she still hopes Rick is alive somewhere out there.
You can believe he's out there. That he's not gone. You can believe a little longer and still go home to your kids.
Soon after, they encounter another shopper and, using Ned's equipment, manage to shoot it down, which is where the previous episode left off. Following their reunion,
Is that him?
unfortunately Ned is killed by one of the dying soldiers. With the CRM on their way and no time to escape, Rick instructs Michonne to use a different name and present a submissive demeanor, so she is accepted into the Civic Republic as a B. This works out fine, but there is someone who watches her interview and knows her real name, which likely will create some issues.
Rick, what the fuck are you doing?
So yes, Jadis is back, ending the second episode on a threatening note. She mentions an understanding she has with Rick,
This doesn't fall under our long-standing deal.
likely formed after she started to climb up the ranks of a CRM, as her bringing in Rick as a B may jeopardize her career.
You have to know that if you try to escape with her, I will make sure that all those people that you love die, including a few that I like very much.
So likely a mutual non-aggression pact, and we will soon find out its exact terms.
My hands are already covered in blood. They can't get any bloodier.
I enjoyed this, again almost 1 hour long episode, very much. About the same as the pilot, even though, or maybe because of, this one being a real tearjerker. They managed to really make us feel Michonne's loss when she loses one of her new friends, which speaks to the acting of the guest cast, the writing, and of course our connection with Michonne, as we also suffer by proxy. I honestly already forgot that the couple she saved, Aiden and Bailey, were already introduced in Michonne's last episode of a main series titled What We Become, where Michonne found them left behind by the caravan. Good that I rewatched that one in preparation. Talking of episode titles, the first one was titled Years, this one Gone, and the next one Bye, though spelled B-Y-E, which connects the first 3 episodes. So I think that the third one will also be one that catches us up on what happened as years gone by, though with a twist to justify the different spelling. Like I said in the last review, I would like to see Jadis' story too, though not for a whole episode. If the trend continues, with the first one being all about Rick, the second one 3/4 about Michonne, and the rest about their reunion, including initiating Michonne into the Civic Republic, I expect the next one to be half of the time about Jadis, and then the second half about setting up what comes next, which for me would be ideal. With the next titles, assuming they are accurate, given as what we and become for episodes 4 and 5, those will likely also be a unit, likely about the struggle of not losing themselves and their values while navigating the new situation within the Republic. As What We Become, like I mentioned, was also the title of Michonne's last appearance in the main show, and there she struggled similarly, seems to underline that, but likely there will be further callbacks to that episode. The series finale is titled The Last Time, which is quite ambiguous, but hopefully will show their reunion with their kids and adopted family back home. 2 things I found puzzling though. I wasn't really clear why the CRM would just drop chlorine on the group. First I thought it was to plunder their goods, but the shopper never sat down. My other theory was then fortunately solved by an interview clip with showrunner Scott M. Gimple.
They were getting close to Philadelphia. I mean, they weren't knocking on the door of it, but if the CRM sees a caravan of people moving north in New Jersey, they're just going to eliminate them.
The other thing I was surprised by was Michonne and Ned shooting down the helicopter. I mean, I feel their pain and get where they are coming from, but on one hand, there might be more factions out there in possession of choppers, and the one that attacked them was a totally different model, looked more like an Apache, while on the other hand, not everyone in there may be a bad guy, which turned out to be exactly the case at hand. But that is something I'm willing to overlook. And with that being said, let's get to the rating. Like I said, I enjoyed this one as well, and it was one hell of a tearjerker. I was happy to see that Ned survived the chlorine, as I liked the character and the actor, Matthew Jeffers, whom you may know from his recurring role in New Amsterdam. Not happy with the decision to also kill him off, but I guess they wanted to continue both our heroes' journey with a clean slate. Though of course there still is Pearl, who may also be able to identify Michonne from what she heard about her, but I guess she will turn out to be an ally. It all worked very well though, so I'm rating this episode with the same 8 out of 10 I gave the pilot, as I similarly enjoyed it, though for other reasons. I'm curious to find out if some of my predictions, including those from last episode, will come true, and I hope that Terry O'Quinn will be getting more screen time. What about you? Were you put off by the supporting cast being killed off? Did you enjoy this episode? What are your theories? Whatever you like to share, let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, feel free to like, share or subscribe. So much for now, see you next time, and thanks for watching. I mean, I feel their pain and get what they are coming from, where they are coming from. I like the character and the actor, Matthew Jeffers, whom you may know from his recurring role in New Amsterdam, and the rest about their reunion, including initiating